In race 1 of DOE and Start Your Car Formula V's, we saw the championship wrapped up by Gert van den Berg. He's taken the championship overall ahead of Lendl Janssen and Brandon Hills. And they're going to go out there to do what is known as racing for the last blood of the season. You can get the last race victory and go into the next season with that little edge over their counterparts. MD Bester already taking the championship in the association side of things. Vaughan Hills has wrapped up second, and Theo Vermaak has moved into third, with Jean-Andre Leroux dropping down to fourth place. So still some battles to happen there for the second race for the associations 2, 3 and 4. Peter Hills, as I mentioned, they're going to be giving him an honorary membership to the V's tonight. 30 years in the category, and incredibly 3 championships as well in his time behind the wheel of a Formula V. Part of the Mangaza team, you can see all 4 of them there were in formation flying for the first one. So great to see that. And let's see whether or not Kyle Watt can close things down on Clinton Kane for the rookie championship as well. There's a bit of a fight on there still, as Watt took the first win over Clinton Kane. And they'll be looking to do more of the same here in race 2. The number 1 car, Lucian Ramchanda, will no longer be the number 1 car for 2022. As you heard from Gert, if he caught the interview after race 1, he was saying he's had about 20 or so number 2s on his car. It's about time he got his second number 1. So they line up with Lendl Janssen and Gert van den Berg on the front row. Greg Wilson and Lucian Ramchanda the second row of the grid in the Liqui Moly number 1 Forza. It's Peter Hills, Brandon Hills, Jaco Schricks and MD Bester making up rows 4 and 5. And then behind that is MD Bester and Sean van der Linde. Marcel Bluchnout, Joseph Kotze and Jean-Andre Leroux. You've got Vaughan Hills and Eric Boyens, Kyle Watt and Theo Vermaak, Henk van den Berg and Roy Douglas, Yanni Geese and David Austin, Ernie Vermaak, Clinton Kane, Blaine de Melon, Andre Leroux and David Goby right at the back. Right, we're good to go by the looks of things. Under starters orders for the last time in 2021 for Formula V's. DOE and Start Your Car have had a fantastic outing with these guys, and they're about to do it for the last time. Down towards turn 1, good start coming out of Gert van den Berg, but it looks like Lucian Ramchanda might just have the advantage again into turn 1. The pack comes streaming through there. Good start from Theo Vermaak. He squeezes out the 53 car as they go through there of Roy Douglas. But under braking, couple of cars locking up, and there's still some wet patches out on the circuit after that mid-afternoon thunderstorm. You wouldn't say so after the dry lines have formed so rapidly. Oh, problems. 75, is that Clinton Kane? No, Clinton, it's not. 75 is Kyle Watt. Kyle Watt with some problems there. Slowing dramatically. That could possibly spoil his chances of the rookie championship. Watt dropped right to the back of the field by the looks of it, and that's going to allow Clinton Kane to continue on his merry way and potentially steal the rookie championship for 2021. Up to the top of the hill, Lendl Janssen did get the whole shot, and he hung on to it for the first 5 corners ahead there of Gert van den Berg. And then Greg Wilson is in third place. Bit of pressure coming from that mid-pack as well as they start to sort things out. Brandon Hills in that mid-pack battle just ahead, and you can see Vaughan Hills there too. Lucian Ramchanda, Jaco Schricks, MD Bester as they come down on the break. Sean van der Linde there as well. Easy to spot him. Bright pink and lime green colours there. Eddie Irvine-esque colours of Sean van der Linde's car. MD Bester a bit further back than what he'd like to be. He was normally a bit higher up and was the leading Mangaza car there in race 1. This time out though, I think it might be Peter Hills who actually leads them out. So Hills, Peter from Brandon, from MD, and then a little bit further back Vaughan. So yeah, it is definitely Peter Hills who is the leading Mangaza car at this stage. Sitting there just behind Jaco Schricks. Brandon on his tail, and MD Bester behind them. Roy Douglas continues to circulate just outside of the top 10 as they come flying. Ooh, Ramchanda a bit sideways out of turn 2. Or turn 5, I beg your pardon. Top of the hill is where we're at right now. And now heading into turn 6 and 7. onto the brakes. Late braking. Ooh, who's that on the side? That's Watt. Yeah, that's Carl Watt on the sideline. That's such a pity for the youngster. He was looking for a chance to take the rookie championship, and he's had to park it on the inside. It's of turn 3 by the looks of things. We saw him slow out of turn 2, and he's just parked on the sideline. Probably would be some yellow flags to warn the drivers that his car is there until they've gone through a couple of times, and then they may just withdraw the yellow flags. But there'll be a couple of yellow flags into turn 3, so no overtaking into turn 3. There's Peter Hills on the inside of Jaco Schricks. Oh, how many times have we seen that in the past? A couple of times, I would say. Always putting on a great show. Brandon Hill's going to try and help his dad out a little bit as they go into turn 5. Oh, 3x3 into turn 5. Schrick saw him coming and slammed the door firmly in his face, saying, no, you're not coming through. I love the fact that they put rookie tape onto Jaco Schricks' car for this weekend. Just to have a little bit of fun and games. Certainly not a rookie. 3-time champion or 4-time champion, if I'm not mistaken, is Jaco Schricks. He's one of those number ones that were taken away from Gert van der Berg when Van der Berg was talking about the fact that he was now getting that number 1 plate for the 2nd time in his career. Hard braking from Brandon Hills, trying to find a way around the outside, and he's done it. But Peter Hills now is up the road, and now MD Bestis trying to get through there on Jaco. Jaco Schricks under attack there from the 3 Mangaza cars, and you can see he was holding them up ever so slightly, because since they've got through, they've disappeared away from him. Can we see MD Bester and Vaughan Hills do the same thing now as well? Titan Premium Car Care, the sponsor there of Jaco Schricks. It's Volkswagen Silver Lakes and Bull Security that are on the front car. But that front car could possibly change up here in the next couple of laps. As we're seeing some maneuvering there from Gert van der Berg. He would love to finish this up with 2 wins on the day. 4 laps down, 6 to go. Leonard Janssen stays at the front for now. Good maneuvering there from Lucian Ramchandra as well to close in on the back end of Wilson. Greg Wilson in 3rd, Ramchandra in 4th. Sure, Lucian would just love to be on the podium in his last time as champion. Peter Hills ahead of his 2 teammates, but he's got Jaco Schricks in between the 2 of them and himself as they head to the top of the hill. Coming up onto the braking point there, and you can see some maneuvering happening from the Liqui-Moly team. Yusuf Kotza starting to come into the play for top 10 honours. Back down towards turn 1 we go. Jaco Schricks now trying to return the favour and come back at Brandon Hills. Putting the pressure onto Hills as he comes out of turn 2. Brandon soaks it up for now, watching Peter disappear and slowly but surely close in on Lucian Ramchandra. 30 years of racing and he can still go at it with the best of the best. He's had a couple of motocross championships underneath his belt during his racing career, has Peter Hills. Now down the back straight away, some changes in the back as well, but yeah, because the big battle, 1 and 2 into turn 6, now towards 7. Watch for the dive on the inside coming out of Gert van der Berg down towards turn 8. He's got the drive. Has he got the slip? Can he pull into that outbraking maneuver? No, not just yet. Maybe a bit too early. He doesn't want to go too soon. Halfway stage reached. 5 to go. Greg Wilson looking to pick up the pieces if something goes wrong, that's for sure. it does, Wilson will definitely enjoy the spoils of hard work in third for both races. Ramchanda under pressure from Peter Hills in the background. Defensive driving coming out of Lucian, and defensive out of Lendl Janssen as well. Look at him hugging that inside line, forcing Gert van den Berg to go around the outside. You don't have to worry about that. Gert van den Berg likes the outside line into turn 5. Watch him try and hang on to this outside line through turn 5 and 6, and then it cuts back to be the inside line for 7. He's done it. Exactly what he did twice in race number 1. You think Lendl would have seen that, and he didn't. Gert van den Berg hits the front in almost a carbon copy of 2 maneuvers he pulled in race 1. You can't force him wide out of turn 5. He will love the life out of turn 5 on the outside line and make you pay into turn 6 and 7. Here comes Greg Wilson along for the ride as well, trying to go there on the outside and possibly spoil Lendl Janssen's time in the saddle. No, doesn't get through. Very tight stuff here between the top 5. All of a sudden we've got Ramchanda and Hills back into the thick of it. 5 cars going at it for the win. I say 5 because Peter Hills is definitely in with a chance if something goes wrong with any of those drivers ahead of him. Here we go to the top of the hill now for Lendl Janssen to have a go. Is he good enough? No. Cat is very good into turn 5. He really is. Peter Hills just as good, closing things down there on Lucian Ramchanda. Rocking that new helmet as well as Peter Hills. Only got it a race ago. Birthday present from the family. Certainly proving to be good luck here at Zwartkops. This is Theo Vermaak fighting hard here. Eric Boyens on his tail, and just behind that Henk van den Berg, looking for a chance to spoil their day. Boyens now in the golf racing colours, trying to get onto the back end and find a way through on Theo Vermaak. Theo Vermaak, let's have a look and see where he stands in the battle with Vaughan Hills. Vaughan Hills is right up the road, so if I look at that, I don't see Vaughan Hills at all. Vaughan Hills has dropped out of it on my timing monitor. So Theo Vermaak could potentially be moving himself up even closer to Vaughan Hills and possibly spoiling Vaughan Hills' chances of an overall in the Association Championship. And they come into turn 8 again. Back markers are going to be the name of the game for the rest of this race. I think that's Vaughan Hills they're coming up on now. No, it's not. That's right at the back. That'll be Blaine de Malon. De Malon about to be caught and passed by the leading group. And Gert van den Berg hangs on. Lendl gets it sideways out of turn 2, trying to square it up to get a slightly better drive out of the apex out of turn 2. Oh, Peter Hills got blocked ever so slightly there. He's lost a bit of ground. Here we go, onto that back straight away again. Hills, as I said, got slightly blocked. Gert van den Berg goes defensive. He knows that Lendl Janssen was having a go. He wants to finish up here with the win. And checkered flag is on standby. Coming down to that checkered flag. Can Gert van den Berg win out the final race of the season after wrapping up the championship? Yes, he can. Gert van den Berg, your newly crowned champion, is going to take the final victory of 2021 as well, sealing the deal with the final victory and beating out Lendl Janssen, Greg Wilson, Lucian Ramchanda and Peter Hills for your top 5. Jaco Schricks, Brandon Hills and MD Bester coming through, and then it's Sean van der Linde down there in 9th place, I beg your pardon, in car 7. Checkered flag is out again, and that's an awesome bit of driving from all of our Formula V competitors. A great season for the DOE. and start my car class. And as I said, Gert van der Berg wraps up the championship. He also will take the final victory of the season. Lionel Janssen will finish up in second place, and Brandon Hills will finish up in third. Overall, the top three for the national championship in Formula V. Official results, or unofficial results there for Formula V's second race. Van der Berg ahead of Lionel Janssen and Greg Wilson. Rusen Ramchanda, the outgoing champion, in fourth, ahead of Peter Hills, Jaco Schricks, Brandon Hills, MD Bester, and Sean van der Linde. Joseph Kotzer making up the top 10. And he's ahead of Marcel Bloknoot, Eric Boyens, Theo Vermaak, Henk van der Berg, and Roy Douglas.